was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below, my bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. Hand to the side, harped and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Bancroft.
How we've been here for an hour chatting before this started.
He literally came in with like 20 seconds to spare.
But I got here in time.
Very impressive stuff. How are you? You must be pretty happy with things at life at the moment, apart from printing.
Yeah, but even with printing, I'm happy now. I got the quote. It was reasonable. He's not that expensive, actually, compared to Mixum.
Oh, nice.
So, no, I'm feeling good. People are DMing me that they like the book. People are receiving the book. It's great. Yeah.
So I'm the only one who's been like, yeah, it's all right. It's not bad.
Well, I'm sure there's lots of people who think that. They just haven't told me. That's fine. I'm sure, people will eventually, as more people get it, I'll get the criticisms, which is cool, which is fine. Good.
Lots to talk about tonight.
Yeah, has anything been happening?
Yeah, at least 20 minutes worth. Let's say hi to chat though. Bullet Ninja Haggleman, Aerith Saga's in house. Tank Ferret, Crackhead. Crackhead is so good on the links. He really is. He's a massive help. NTM Comics, Mo Biggs. This song was good twice. Yeah, I'm feeling it a little bit too, Mo. I got to say. I got the Lucent last night. Haven't opened it yet.
Jason waited forever for this thing to take a 3-hour plane ride.
Yeah, because he's in Australia, isn't he?
No, New Zealand.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like it's further to Perth, I think, from here. Maybe.
No,
I don't know if that's quite true, but
that's not true.
All right.
In the slightest.
Making that up. But regardless, it shouldn't have taken that long.
Package looks intact though. Almost disappointed Ozpost didn't kick the S out of it like they did the last one that came through them. That's no good. Hopefully it wasn't mine. It's the Summer of George. Crazy Mad. I'll tell you if I find it adequate, Bancroft.
I'm sure he will. Or inadequate.
Shiva McQueen. That's it. That's everyone in chat so far. How is everyone? I hope everyone is good. Oh, lots to talk about, Bancroft. Lots of campaigns to look over too. I sent out the list again. People in chat seem to like it. Yes, people in chat like it. Like when we've got it on the screen to at least look at.
I see enough of our mugs.
Yeah, Ryan Cardinal's here.
Look at my hair. It seems like only yesterday.
Oh, hang on. Not that one. There we go.
Ah, yes, this is Nicholas's book. I think Nicholas reached out to me on Instagram, but I don't use Instagram.
Yeah.
Mel does all that, whenever she can.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if he has a Twitter, so. But
that
this
makes
book
it
does
difficult.
look cool. It does, doesn't it? Like anyone who's wanting to promote and get around on CG streams, you really want to have a Twitter. Even if you don't use the use
Lies.
I'm going to check now.
Yeah, you better check because I think he's wrong.
Called me out.
Antoine's here. We need to get Antoine for our Yellow Man remix, Bancroft.
What?
The
Being
Weller
racist
Man.
again, Rob?
The Weller Man. The sea
Oh
shanty.
yes. Is that
Yeah.
I don't know what that thing is called. The shanty.
Yeah, the shanty, the sea shanty. Look at a map.
So it's 3,400 kilometers from Melbourne to Perth.
Yeah.
Melbourne to New Zealand. I need a city. What city are you? Oh, I don't want to dox him. I'll just say Wellington, I guess. Not saying that's where he lives. I'm just saying that's a city in. Oh, it's 1,000 kilometers closer, and that's to Wellington. So there would be a place. I don't know if there are airports, but it's 2,500 kilometers, Rob. So it's 1,000 kilometers closer.
New Zealand is.
Yeah. Than we are to Perth.
Yeah, Perth's far away. Isn't that what I said?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
It's no. You said Perth is closer.
No, Perth's far away.
We actually have this on film.
Someone check the tape.
Check the tape. You ever done that with your wife? Where you're like, we need that stenographer. Go and check the tape and check what I said because I didn't say that.
Oh yeah, no, I just give up. Nobody cares. Yeah, I hear you, Mo. Does New Zealand have airports? At least one, possibly two.
New Zealand is a modern, industrialized country. I've been there 3 times. It's beautiful. It's very windy though.
They are really into their rugby over there. Really into it.
I'm not. I'm not into their rugby.
You want to start here, or do you want to tell everyone about your amazing topic that you had for the show? That one topic that you'd been saving, just to unleash on the whole chat when they were ready for it.
All right. Okay. All right. You want to do that?
Get ready, everyone. Hold on to your hats.
Well, remind people. Last week, Rob said, "You got a topic," and I said, "Do I?" And then he was like, "Yeah, And I'm like, "That was 2 weeks ago, and I forgot about it, and I don't know what you're talking about anymore." Rob went through our DMs and dug it up and found it.
Yeah,
the topic. I have not given this a second's thought since I sent that DM. And it was, there's a difference between a creator saying they're going to do something and then not doing it. So, for instance, why are you making me full screen?
Because you're about to lay some truth down. It's a full screen moment.
I don't want to be full screen.
I hate being full screen. I hate it.
There's a difference between a creator saying, I'm going to fulfill on this date and not doing it, or whatever anything a creator might do and then might say they're going to do and then not end up doing. And there's a difference between that and creators doing things that you might disagree with as a way that CG creators should do. Like, could be going on Kickstarter, could be running 10 campaigns at once, could be including too many tchotchkes in their campaigns. Anything that a creator does that you might say, this pisses me off, or I don't think this is particularly Comicsgate. Because that's just their business choices that they're making. And everyone does their own things differently. But it annoys fans kind of equally. And people get annoyed when this guy's running another campaign. I've gotten annoyed of that. He's running another campaign. I still haven't gotten 2 from this guy. It's not quite the same thing. Well, that was a bad example because that is the same thing. But this idea, look, all right, I didn't say we should do this topic. You're the one who put this on me.
Is this about puzzles?
He just wanted to shame me.
It's just I was so excited because every week you come on here and I come up with the topics. It's great enough having you on the
I
show.
like this show.
Yeah. Oh, Mel, don't even start me. I'm completely
I said it was
confused.
a subtle difference, but an important distinction.
Yeah. This is every week. It's great having you on the show, and I enjoy it. But every week I come up with all the topics, and you just roll in here and chat for a couple of hours, which is fantastic. But this time you've gone, hey Rob, I've got something I want to talk about. I'm like, hell yeah, man, let's get onto it. And then you forgot what it was. I went back and found it, and you've explained it, and I don't think anyone understands what it is.
It's a real thing. I didn't think it was a very good topic, so we just left it there. I said maybe it's something I'd like to subtly address on the next show, but clearly I forgot about it. So
this is what happens when two streamers have an A-B conversation, or A to B, and don't bother to let the viewers know what the hell they're talking about. Yep, I don't understand. There's a subtle difference between two things, Mo, yet I don't know what he's talking about.
Are you telling me you don't know the difference between a creator, with fans being annoyed that a creator said they were going to do something but don't do it, and fans being annoyed at something a creator says he's going to do and does?
Guys, do I ask any follow-up questions, or do I just move on from this train?
Just move on. The train is going off the tracks.
All right. I'm annoyed at myself. Let's have a look at Relentless Tin Soldier. Get in there. Why aren't you going in there?
This is why I don't even pick topics for my own show. I steal them off others.
That's probably a smart move. So yeah, I put the post out again this week. What should we look at on the stream while we're talking? You will be subject to feedback. So let's have a look through here. So the first thing that grabbed me about this one is I could not see how many pages this book is, which is just maybe I'm blind, but I can't see it, Bancroft.
Maybe it's not written. Maybe it's written in the perks.
I mean,
I wouldn't click on them unless you're not logged in.
Here's a topic in the stream. Do fans get annoyed when a creator says they're going to do something, or when the creator says they're going to do something but they do or don't?
No. That's no. A creator says he's going to do. A creator says he's going to do something but doesn't come through with it. Right, like getting the book out on time. That's an example of that, right?
Yes. All right.
And fans get annoyed. Or a creator says, I'm going to launch 5 campaigns at once, and then does it. Yeah. And fans get annoyed. Right? One is the creator failing on their promise. The other one, the creator is fulfilling on their promise, but it's still annoying fans. That's all. I don't think it was a very good topic. But,
Antoine, the page count is one of the first things I look for. I'm surprised how many folks don't add that or put it somewhere inconspicuous. Yeah, I mean, I'm scrolling down here. I haven't seen it.
It is a very important thing.
That should be like one of the first.
Yeah,
things.
that's one of when you and I spoke about my campaign, you were like, "This has to be number one," and I got a lot of people, complimenting me on that it was front and center, the first thing you read.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go into this, Bancroft, and you can either agree or disagree. That's a waste of space to me. I don't like it. I don't like how there's 2 covers here. Again, for me, it should be the first image should be your best image, and that's up to the people that back it. But I think this is a sensational one. I would go with that. That looks
Yeah, I would
sick.
lead with that.
Yep. I would have a little blurb here. This is a 48-page full color graphic novel. Blah blah blah. Image, and then get it. Here's another really good selling point: free shipping in the US. It's ready
Something like
to
that.
print.
Like you can make that much bigger. You could even make that
Mhm.
a graphic. Because that is massive. That's a real difference. Like that's a real differentiating thing. And I think I've promoted about 5 guys. I've had them on the show. 5 guys who've had free shipping in the US, and we find about it halfway through the show.
Yeah, because I mean, what's that? That's $10 saving at least, probably for
Yeah,
people in the
it's
US.
massive. Like that's someone who's really doing their utmost to grow the readership and not worrying about any kind of hope of profit at all. Which is a marketing plan.
This is like the book's ready. It's done. It's ready to go to print. That should be big too. Like book is complete. I would not bold this whole thing. I would bold the important parts, because when it's all bolded, I don't read it. I don't know about
It's
you.
either if it's all bolded, none of it's bolded.
Exactly. So free shipping in the US, book is complete, ready to go. Move this cover up to here. Get rid of this. Double pages, man. They're so sad for me because it loses all the impact of a double page on Indiegogo because they shrink it down to like standard single page size. It would be great if they had like a feature where you could hover over and it blew it up. That would be sick, but they don't.
Yeah, but this page here, see, I had a double page on my campaign as well, and I just chopped it in half.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. Like this page, you could chop in half very easily. And I think each page is good enough on its own to display. Obviously it's happening in the same moment, but you get the people shooting on the left, and you get the cops reacting on the right, or the security guards, whoever they are, and the guy getting blasted in the head.
Era says, "Shit, those should be the first part of the campaign." Yeah, I would put it up here. I would put page number or whatever it is, whatever Bancroft and I have put up here. I think is generally the right way to go. 32 pages, what it is, what you can get is what you want to see first. And I would put book is complete, and I would put free shipping in the US. I mean that,
and then go right into that big image.
Into the big image
Shelby
after
cover.
That. Crackhead says that bothers me too, Rob. They just look like normal pages on IGG, and that's the thing. They look worse than normal pages because they're shrunk. Like they're shrunk down. I mean, if it was me, I'd probably get rid of it. I think. Do you have a thought about that?
Or break it up, and then
Or
people will get a nice surprise when they get
yours
it.
Looks great.
Nice, cool.
Yours looks great.
Obviously it's best to see it in its big, double page format. But this is we got to remember, this is for online. You scroll online, you scroll down.
I'd be really interested to see how yours looks on the page as a double. I reckon it would look shithouse.
Oh, it would just be small. It would be. It wouldn't have the impact that it has. So,
patriotic print ad on available. First print books will have a back cover by Graham Nolan. I mean, he's got some sick artists in here. He's got Billy Tucci, Shelby Robertson, Graham Nolan, Andy Smith. Mandy War's a guy I found on Facebook. He's very good. So is JC Fable. He's very good too.
People don't know what Shithouse looks like. Shithouse is, sorry.
Oh, really?
Shithouse is bad.
Yeah, Shithouse is bad. And then again here, like...
Hang on. the Turtles thing as well. I think that's a stretch goal. It's a print or a cover or something.
Team up.
See, I don't know. I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, what do you mean? You're doing a Turtles team up? Have you got the license or something? Like if he does, that's pretty crazy. I didn't really.
That is funny though. Getting shithouse sounds fun because you do get shithouse like smash drunk.
Great art on this campaign, I have to say.
Yeah. And where are there stretch goals? Like,
I think those were the stretch goals that you were just looking at.
Yeah, but where's like the number? Oh yeah, 3,000, 6,000. Yeah, okay. I don't like this either. Like having things where you click to go somewhere else. Like,
yeah, you don't want to have that on there.
You don't have that on there. So I think like this could be greatly improved. And I haven't heard much about this campaign. Like I've seen it here and there, but not really much at all.
Nicholas is in the chat every now and then on my channel. Other than that, I haven't seen him around much, around the circuit, so to speak. And as we all know,
That's fantastic.
Look at you.
Ninja Scroll.
Jason crushing there, yeah.
If you send people away, they're not coming back. Yeah, that's exactly how I think it goes too. The house face is how you describe people with giant heads like Rob and Michael. These days, everything needs to look good on mobile, no tiny art images. That's very true.
Yeah, that's like the people who come from Kickstarter, especially, who make those graphics and then put the little art pages, a third of the width or even less on these little strip of art things. That does not work for Indiegogo backers, I don't think.
Rainbow the Brute. All right, next one.
Rob the Brute.
We'll go into Death. This was a really popular choice on Twitter, Bancroft. There was like 4 or 5 people telling me to do this one.
Yeah, I'm going to get Joe on tomorrow night, I think.
Oh, nice. So, all right. I mean, we're not pulling punches here. Like we're being real. I don't like this image here. There's nothing wrong with the actual image. It's just the sizing of it is not right. I would blow this up so it's like it's visually impacting, right? So this is mine here. That looks good. This to me, it just does not. I mean, am I wrong there?
No, that's a fair point. You've got to. This is the crucial like hook moment is that piece that, and you get to save that. That's not just like the thumbnail you put on whatever video. You get to actually put in any image you like in that to be your main hook, I guess. So yeah, I like something where you can really make out what you're looking at, and just make sure that like the person who's found themselves on this page can't go away yet. They have to at least scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, and that's like, we always talk about having like your best image here. You also need to have your other best image right here, because that's the very first one people see. So I think you could improve that. Like if you actually change that out, it would make a big difference here. 300 pages, I'd bold that as well. That's like massive.
I'm gonna ask him about that, because I know he's doing 3 kinds of books. Is that 300 continuous pages of story?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know if even Crackhead knows. He thinks it's 3 separate books, I think. And he's a massive Joe Ball fan. So if he doesn't know, then that's something that really needs to be cleared up on the campaign. Click the tit. I would probably bold this too. Death is a sci-fi fantasy story. Bold that. Scrolling down. Letters by Steve Dyer. That's very cool. Any thoughts, comments here, Bancroft? Because I mean, he's just showing off the art in the 3 different styles, which is what he's going for.
I think I'd have to take a longer look at that to know whether or not that worked for me. You know, the 3 different styles all stacked under each other.
Yeah.
But I guess you got to show people somehow what you're doing.
Would you?
For me, Joe's art is so rendered. It's so detailed. I would have not necessarily like done that with full pages, you know? Like I would have, you could take a couple of panels or a bit of a panel and blow it up so people can kind of see what it is and just show it, you know, and then show a different panel for the other style, and then so on and so forth. What I also would have done is I would have made it clear, you know, with headings. I would have separated them as well into different groups. Like maybe show off the main one, whatever that is, if whether that's the black and white or the color, or the grayscale, whatever it is.
Would
you know, and showed off that first? Probably the color. I mean, color, like, you know, captures people's.
Would you have like?
More.
Would you have like 3 pages of the same, like, color?
That's what I'm saying.
First,
you would do it in
separate
blocks.
it.
And then, but then also, you know, I would love to see some of these details because I've seen Joe's art blown up, and there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
Whereas when I think that, you know, it's just the same page shown in 3 different ways, I don't think it's as impactful as it otherwise might have been. That page looks great. I love the coloring on that.
This one or the red?
The green.
The green? Yeah.
Yeah. Green, blue. Surprise. I like it.
I really love when people mix sci-fi and fantasy. It's just really hard to do. Like I think Malin's trying to do it with Godlike as well. We've got like fantasy and sci-fi elements, but they work together. I think it's really sick when people can do that. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say on this one. I think just change that image, bold a few things here, clear up how it works with the 300 pages. Like, if I just buy the manga edition, am I getting 300 pages? That's the question, and I don't think there's a clear answer to it.
We can find out tomorrow.
The other thing I would say is the reward images. It's a similar kind of problem to here. I don't think they're inviting enough. Like if you go to mine, right, and again, mine's not the gold standard, but I think like this to me looks inviting. This not so much. I think you could improve that. Any thoughts there?
I like it when the perks show what you're going to be getting.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, it may show the art that appears on the cover. I like to see it mocked up. You know, if the book doesn't exist yet, just chuck it on, you know, Photoshop. You can do, you know, a lot of things. And if you can't do that, you know, I'm sure someone could hook you up pretty easily and cheaply. What's Jason saying?
I did it, Bancroft, and I have like no skills in Photoshop.
You did it.
Yeah, exactly. Jason, what I want at the top of the campaign is to be launched into a story. I want to be reading the comic and coming up with questions before having them answered or details about page numbers, etc. Fair enough. Summaries by definition go at the end. There is a red page in there that adds nothing. It may be important in terms of the story, but as a selling page, nope. The manga version is black and white, soft color with smaller dimensions. I think that's the only difference other than price. Interesting. Anything else you guys have in chat on this one? Or you, Bancroft?
No, I'll wait till I'll get Joe on and have a chat with him. Crackhead says he's 99% sure it's going to be one book.
So one book with all 3 styles in it. Is that what it is?
Sounds like it. That's going to be a very thick book.
300 pages. That's going to be massive.
Like this. That's very thick.
That's thick. U.S. Assassin by Mark Polton.
And Mike McMahon.
Yep, Mark Polton. That's huge. Chief McQueen. That's cool. Jason's got his Lucent. We said that before. U.S. Assassin returns in his deadliest adventure. That's bolded. I like this. Like, it's bolded and unbolded. It makes it easier to read for me.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the best way to do it. You know, you highlight the important things.
I'd bold that though as well. 54 pages. He's got all the people listed here. That's fine too. That's a great cover.
If you scroll up, I did get a little bit confused when I was going through this campaign with him. Scroll down, sorry, down. So we see there's like a thing in the middle there, the text between the images. Scroll down. There you go.
There.
You know, does that refer to what's above or below, kind of thing? Usually you can sort that out by adding a couple of returns, you know, between, so that there's more space. Whatever it's closest to is the thing it's referring to. But I think it's a good idea to have, and I think that's something that is, like, say, missing on the previous ones we've looked at, so that we have a little explanation of exactly what we're looking at here. You know, oh, this is the variant by this guy, and you know, this is a, you know, is this a standard cover? Does everyone get it? Do I have to pay for it? That sort of stuff.
This is a great cover. I mean,
yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not my cup of tea at all, but it's great. You know, I told these guys the art on this campaign is, they've really stepped it up across the board. Interiors, covers.
Internal pages look good. Some black and white. Cover by Eric Weathers. That's cool. Again, double page spread losing its impact for me. This is a really good cover too.
It's going to be a foil cover.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone can do it, but I know some people have done it. You know, it might be, you've got the art. You could print, you know, a version and take a photo, or perhaps try and get something going in Photoshop that, you know, approximates it. But I think it, you know, there'd be a really good, you know, extra selling point. That's the collected edition. Don't scroll past that too quickly. The collected edition.
I feel like maybe people need to dumb it down and keep it more simple as to what is what. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, but when you're on, you know, you're getting onto third, fourth campaign, maybe even.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to go in here.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's figured it out exactly the best way to do that, but
Adam says, "How is that not your cup of tea? What more do you want?" He'll prefer if it was Vlad in the bathtub. Would be Michael's.
No, it's nothing. Not about more or anything like that. You know, I just, you know, I mean, just a taste thing, just a, you know, what you want from a comic, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool.
He's doing really cool things in this campaign, and
great image reward images.
There you go. They're very eye-catching. You can see exactly what you're getting.
He asked for feedback on the Viking Wolf campaign, and I'm like, yeah, it looks great, man. Your images don't look, your reward images don't look enticing, and he changed it, and they look so much better. And he's kept that for this, and they look heaps better.
Does everyone come to you for advice on their campaigns?
No, not
people have stopped coming to me because I kind of say, yeah, I'll do it, and then forget.
Yeah, you know, I don't mind. It is annoying though, like when they come to you and they haven't read what you've written about stuff, and they're just like, I'm like, yeah, it's literally in the document. Just go read it. I mean, I'm not the expert on this stuff, but if you're asking my advice, it's already all in there. So At least look at that stuff first.
You were like, I didn't get out of bed for less than, $1,000 in consultation fees.
Aaron, I'll fetch a cover. I don't know where I'd put this, man. Aaron's a big artist, a big sick artist. I would probably put this up higher.
I prefer that. Is all I'm saying to the other one. That but that's that's just a thing of taste. Yeah.
He was talking about the US Assassin campaign, said they needed to dumb it down. He had to be baiting me with that comment. Yeah. I don't like to ask too many questions, right? If there's too many questions that I have to ask about a campaign, it just means I'm not going to back it. So you need to keep it really, really simple if you want my money. That's all I'm saying. It's not.
I wouldn't be advertising that like to everyone. If you want my money, keep it simple.
Why wouldn't you advertise that? I think everyone is like that, whether they admit it or not. Devil of Talon Flats relaunched Bancroft.
How's the goal looking? So it looks like it's about half than it was before. Actually, I can't remember now. I think it was on 8,000, but I can't remember if that was Australian or US.
You had him on your show, yeah? So you know what the campaign looked like previously.
Yep. I mean, I don't know specifically why he pulled it down. I assumed I remember he had a really high goal. But I don't know of any issues of what happened. Maybe there was people backed something, and then there was I know nothing about it, about the reasons why, other than I thought it looks great. It sounds really cool, like a kind of spaghetti western type thing. Yeah, I mean, I hope he does well.
Good image here. Rewards look awesome.
This cover here, up. I'm not, I don't think it needs to be there, essentially.
That is another point.
The other one is a lot stronger.
That's another point I was going to make. Like, these two covers following it,
exactly,
tons better than this one, I'm afraid. So that for me would go at the bottom, and you'd be choosing out of these two. I actually think I like this one personally better, but I mean, this is Kane and White. It's fantastic as well. So that would be the first thing I would change. I like these graphics here, but I don't know if you need them. What do you think?
I think they're fine. Yeah, no, I think it doesn't matter as long as they're done well. Have them. Sometimes people go overboard on them.
Yeah,
but yeah, as long as it all looks good on a mobile and it's all readable, go at it.
I wanted to ask you about this and get your thoughts on what's happening here. So he's injured, he's on a horse, he's heading towards this cabin. Is this some sort of like hallucination / half dream sequence panel that she's
thinking it's
out?
like I'm thinking it's like a Gladiator, when he's dying and he's closed his eyes and he sees his wife standing there. I think it's something like that. Just the complete 180 of color palette.
What do you think about it?
Isn't there? It might look a bit odd here on this page, but there might be context in previous pages. So if that's the case, yeah. If not, it might. I don't know. I have to see it in context to really make an informed decision.
So here again, this is me asking you questions as a colorist, right? Because I mean, I think like the art looks good, but are the things that need to be highlighted being highlighted in enough like separation? Like, is there enough variance between him and the background? I guess would be the question.
Yeah, probably not. I've run into this myself a lot on my journey of coloring comics, where you try and sort of get it to look like how you would imagine it would look if it were in film or something like that. But you have to be careful with that, because in film, the contrast is nowhere near as important because there's movement. So people can get that, and it all makes sense because things are moving. Whereas in a comic, you can't just necessarily color your pages at night as how it might look if it were on film. And clearly they're going for a very realistic look here, which I appreciate, because I try and do the same thing too in a sense.
It might not work with the story. I don't know what's happening. Like, is there anyone in this house? But if there is, like, you could have lights coming out of this window here, and that could illuminate the guy. Is that something you would do?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I mean, this page makes me think it's like a whole dream sequence, but I don't know.
No, I mean that seems to me to be colored in native lighting, which it just means normal colors. It's white light. I think it's just a normal page.
What? But like, why would you have this whole sequence and then just have a completely different page from another part in the book then?
And lots of people do that. I did that. I don't know. I mean, you're just trying to show off your best pages, I suppose.
Okay. Donald DeLay stretch cover goal. I'd bold these two, so you can, stretch goals. People like them. I'd bold those.
Well, we are at again a situation where, how much has he raised?
500.
Yeah, and our stretch goals are at 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back to that same situation where the reality of the funding might not necessarily line up with the hopes for the funding. So, and I think, and I've said this plenty of times, I think that can actually hurt a campaign more than it helps it, because it can make campaigns that, if this thing funds at 4,000 and then it gets to 5.5, that he should be celebrating. That's a success. Not thinking, oh well, I failed because my first stretch goal was at 10,000 and I didn't get past I barely got halfway. But that's just an unfortunate reality, I suppose, of crowdfunding.
We've seen way worse examples.
Seen a lot worse than that, but I'm just saying, like, it's a good point. People know that you would love to do a Donald DeLay cover. I don't know necessarily want to have the stretch goal number on there right from the get-go.
Adam says maybe the people in the house found the guy crawling towards the house, and this is the next morning. That makes sense to me, and that probably gives him that an opportunity to have that lit up if you wanted to. I think it would look better. That's the only reason why I'm saying it. But you do what you want to do.
As a colorist, you're always looking for opportunities for cool, interesting, atmospheric lighting.
Yeah.
To give the scene a bit more something. So here you've got the moon. You can really get some blues going on there, and that sort of stuff. Yeah, if you've got those windows, go for it. But
I'd put more blood here too. I'd put like a trail of blood going down. Doesn't have to be crazy, but I'd sell that. It's cool though, man. It's interesting. Are you a fan of Westerns?
It's a really good looking book. Yes.
Yeah? Western comics?
I've read only a few. that I random ones I collected, but I do like them. I love Western TV shows and movies, and I've never read a novel, but I read Six Gun Gorilla, which is it's a little bit different. I haven't backed any westerns in Comicsgate other than that though, but I'd definitely be interested in a book like Devil from Talon Flats.
Okay. All right. This is a question from a CG fan who wants to remain anonymous. So let me read it to you. I know this topic has been discussed, but what are your thoughts on the increase of campaigns compared to the decrease in backing? For example, from summer 2019 to 2020, I had backed over 100 campaigns. So far this year, I've backed less than 20. I noticed the honeymoon stage lasting less and less. More people are vocal on not backing day one compared to previous years. What do you think about that?
I think that's completely normal. We have to remember that whoever said that's an anecdote from that particular person, and I think it's completely normal. I've experienced the same thing. I haven't backed many people first day, unless there's a perk that I really want to get, and it's a 24-hour perk. I haven't been backing people first day, whereas last year I really was a lot. But there's lots of people coming in who this is new for them. That's why it's so important that we do get more and more people coming in and keep those fires burning. But I don't think it was ever going to. I mean, CG's never actually been the same. Every 3 months is different than the last 3 months. So we've noticed the big boom and the explosion and the whole kind of movement side of things. It's morphed into something else. It's changing. Whatever it is in the future, I don't know. But we just have to keep trying to evolve with the behavior of the backers and the fans. And creators have to do their best to keep them engaged and backing. I mean, this year's been very different book wise from last year. You can't forget that as well. Last year, Blood Honey, Wrecked Planet. I think it was Graveyard Shift too. It was different. And this year, the first month or two, there were 90 books. Just
it's crazy.
Yeah. So, and I think we're up to 200 and something new books in 8 months.
I'm definitely at the moment feeling the pinch of international shipping prices. Because every book I back, I don't know what you guys are paying when you're booking a back from a book that comes from America. Like, you're probably only paying like $35 for a $25 book, like a shipping's $10. Ours is the majority of the time $25 each time. So a $25 book becomes a $50 book every time. And I've got so much funds invested in Replicator. Like, I'm paying you. I've got half of Replicator 4 done. I'm paying Shelby Robertson. I'm paying another guy. Like, it's getting really tight, and these shipping costs are killing me at the moment.
People are working on that. It's not going to be sold anytime soon. Not by a long shot, but people are working on it. That's all I can really say about it. You're exactly right, though. I haven't been backing a lot merely because I'm in the same boat. I need to save my pennies. Like, lucky that I did too. A lot of these printing problems, I have to pay out of pocket and then hope down the line that I'll get a little bit or some of the money back that I already invested and had problems with.
Rob, you Aussies can solve the shipping problem easily. Have the books printed out and shipped from the US. The US is the problem, Anton. That's where we're paying the money, though. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, but you're talking, Rob. You're talking about getting books sent here.
Yeah.
So that would mean that you guys would have to print them here in Australia,
and
then ship to us.
Which
so, and the issue is there's not enough of us.
There's not
in
enough
the market to warrant that. That's that. I mean, I know everyone is trying to solve the problem of international people shipping to the US because that's where the market is, but that isn't the biggest problem. I mean,
no.
Like my shipping is $14. I don't know what yours was on Replicator.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Probably something similar. Kimasabi's is $9 US.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I think that's not the issue. That's not the big issue. Australians and UK guys shipping to the States.
There's always digital, yes, but the majority of people don't do digital these days. And I don't really want digital for myself, Bancroft. Do you want digital?
I wouldn't read it.
Yeah, I wouldn't read it either. I'd buy it and then I wouldn't read it.
People send me digital stuff sometimes, and
Yeah.
unless I've really said to the person, yeah, I'll give it a read to give feedback. I mean, I don't end up reading it.
There's a second part to this. This year has seen an influx of new creators coming in, but the number of new backers are far behind, as well as high-name artists coming in. It seems like the middle-class creators are dwindling. Where more creators were coming in and not unheard of them hitting 20K or more, I understand that creators are making less money. Will this leave many new and established creators to venture out of the community where campaigns aren't even hitting 10,000?
I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment. And that's not just because I seem to come out of nowhere and make 40,000 on mine. How do I...
You're an outlier, though.
How do I put this? Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of work with the YouTube and everything like that. That's where, the majority of it all came from. I understand that. I just don't... I had a really good thought on this because I've spent a long time thinking about this. Well, first off, yeah, the creators are going to come both from the professional league and the amateur league more and more. That's not going to stop. People are seeing the success stories of the bigger campaigns, and that's like moths to a flame. It's just basic. People are seeing where the money is being made. Oh damn it! I had a point on this. Now I've just lost it. You give your opinion, and maybe it'll tick over.
Anton says Michael is an outlier. I think he just put in the work. Yeah, he did, but outlier is in he's one of the rare exceptions, I guess, to the normal of what we're seeing. Not that he didn't deserve it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that he's not the average example. That's for sure.
Not to toot my own horn here, but not many other creators launch a book and go on a live stream 6 days a week, every week for the next year. They just don't do that. So, there's that side of it as well. I think the opportunity is still here for anyone who, really brings out a kick-ass book and then sinks copious amounts of energy and time into promotion. It's a slow build up though. It takes time to ingratiate yourself into the community, for the fans to accept you, and then usually what happens is the fans will accept you first, and then more and more creators who have channels will eventually start accepting you as well.
Good to see Jasper's in the house too. Good to see Jasper. Mo Biggs, not everyone has promotional powerhouses like Thunderbuns and myself in their corner.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. It's just the whole thing is going to change. That's just the nature of it. We started in one place, we've been heading towards another place, and we're going somewhere where we don't know exactly what it is. But I think I don't think we're anywhere near getting down in the dumps, because we've got 100 new creators coming in and we're not getting thousands and thousands of new fans every month. There's still lots of people who are out there backing books and all that sort of stuff, and channels are growing and everything. The reality though is not going to happen for everyone. It can't. So that's the kind of harsh side of it. I don't really look at it as in, like, what did he say, like middleweight creators or something,
middle
like
class.
Like I just don't look at it like that. I think the bigger you get, the more stuff you get to do. But other than that, we're all of us competing against each other.
Yeah.
So whoever puts out the best book of the year, whether they're no one's ever heard of them before, or they're a 30-year veteran, we're all competing against that book. So that's sort of how I view it. And you've done it with your mailing list. Each campaign, that mailing list grows because you get new readers. And then hopefully down the line, the ones who didn't back your last 2 books, maybe they'll catch it on the 4th and they'll go, oh, I forgot about Replicator. And they'll come back and they'll re-engage. But, that's generally just how these things go. You build your audience bit by bit, campaign by campaign. And people who stick it out and fulfill and deliver and stay active in the community, I think we've seen that their numbers grow. So I don't have a negative view of the current situation, but I still 100% absolutely accept we need new fans coming in all the time. Like, that's
do you think, like, the initial boom, right, when that all happened, people were just backing everything because it was like, that, like, it was happening, right? It was the new thing, right?
Yeah.
And do you think they've stopped backing so much because it's not the new thing anymore, or because
that was my point, actually,
or because the quality or delivery or the experience of the books they've got has been less than stellar?
There's some of that, absolutely. That has to play into it. People have been burned. I think people were down a little bit on CG books because they had such high hopes, and a lot of them didn't deliver, especially on the story. Even if they really delivered on the art, the story was really lacking. I think that's starting to turn around, and I think that's just like I truly see as what we're doing here is very free market. I do believe the meritocracy is working as intended. The people with the best books are getting the best word of mouth, and that's growing. The people who aren't putting out really the best stuff, people are saying it. We all know what people are saying about Starblades, for example. So that's not going to help Kyle when it comes to start promoting Starblades 2. He's going to have to put in a lot of work to show, I've listened to your guys' criticisms, and I'm making improvements. On the other hand, you got guys like Jason Bascom, Now we've got skits.
Sovereign Wolf.
Sovereign. Lots of people are getting fantastic word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, if they come back.
Now.
I didn't want to say it, but thank you.
Replicator.
They get not from you, but that's right. If they can capitalize on this word of mouth, yeah, I absolutely think they'll grow. And but what I forgot to say is that there's a kind of, I don't know. There's a kind of, I see it as a misconception that people have with that boom period, the kind of big bang of Comicsgate, that people assumed that's the yardstick by which we will now measure all future success, right? So they look at that and say that was the time that we should measure going forward off that. And I just think that's a wrong way to do it. It was such a crazy time for crowdfunding and the birth of Comicsgate. People were backing in massive numbers, both in backer amounts and like money, just to support this fledgling movement. And I think most of that has waned now. And so I don't think it's a good measure to look at, I used to back this much, or you look at what the numbers, like, your boy Zach used to get 10,000 on his 10,000 backers on his campaign, and now look, like that's an indication of the waning interest. I think we need to be much more granular. I think we need to be much more realistic and pragmatic and look at what each individual creator has done. Yes, some creators have dropped off. Other creators have taken off. And I think, for the most part, not necessarily in every case, it's usually based on the books they're producing, how quickly they're producing it, and how active they are in the this kind of in the shopping mall, so to speak.
I mean, I'm not super worried about myself too much. Like, I'm fairly confident in what I'm doing and what my book looks like, and my audience, I guess. Right? It's going to be tough for new people for sure.
But it's always been tough for new people, Rob. Okay, there was 5 months where it wasn't.
I was a new person, I guess.
There were 5 months. Yeah, but you did Kickstarters before then, and it was tough for you, right?
Fuck yeah, that was brutal.
Right? But yes, granted, I accept there were like 5 or 6 months where it wasn't actually that tough for newcomers. If you had something of a book that you could, Ethan was just letting anyone come onto his show, and people were backing like crazy. This was not realistic. This was not ever gonna continue. This was like magnesium. It was burning bright. It was not gonna last. And then people got butthurt because it didn't last. But it was incredibly difficult when I came into, okay, I'm going to become a creator that people know about, and I've got a book. I've been in CG, in the chats on Twitter, active every day since 2017. It was now late 2019, and still barely anyone knew who I was. That's 2 years of constant, I guess, doing work, and then even then, I had to like come up with something really out there to get myself seen with the cartoons, and and then I had to get over myself and get onto YouTube and do these stupid commentary videos, being super awkward and mumbling over everything, like I still am anyway. But it's an incredible amount of work. It's incredibly difficult to do, and then even if you get there, you better have a good book to back it up. It's a lot of things that need to go into it. So I think it always was difficult. Maybe not for that 6 months, but I think it always will be difficult. But everyone is always looking for that next big thing. That'll never change. Everyone is always waiting for that next IP that's just going to be the bee's knees. You know, if you think you've got it, go out there and convince people. You know, just because it's going to take you 5 years to get anyone to read it, well, get to work. You know, it's going to be 5 years of hard work just to get anyone to read it. That's just the way it is.
Cracker says, Rob, I'm not worried about me. Fuck these new guys. I didn't mean it that way, but sure. I am noticing though, like there are some creators in like the middle area that are growing, and I don't think they probably need to worry too much themselves either. Like my point is that if you do a good book, you treat the fans well, people seem to come back.
For the most part. Yeah,
that's my point.
For the most part.
I think CG needs some top tier writers to jump in the water. There are a lot of good looking books that are incredibly weak conceptually. Yeah, I mean,
I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen more and more.
Yeah.
Like if you're crowdfunding comics is not going away. Yeah. And you're a writer and you've got a great story. And you're looking at the landscape and you're looking to collaborate with an artist. Do you want to go to Kickstarter and, you know, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of campaigns on there that aren't making much money. There are some that make big money. But, you know, or you look over what CG is doing and you look at, you know, the crazy fun that's going on over here and you look at some of these campaigns made by kind of nobodies like us getting 1,000 backers, 1,000 readers. You know, that's a great launch pad for your story, for your IP. I just think naturally people are going to look, and I'm not saying they're looking to us, they're more looking to, you know, what Shane Davis is doing, or now Aaron Lopresti and maybe Dal Keown. You know, they're looking at them and they're saying, it's just economics. It's just good business to come over here and take part.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problems with the pros coming over here and doing crowdfunding. You know, some people said they don't bring fans, but I don't agree. I think every time they do, it grows. CG. What do you think, Bancroft?
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe that as well. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any data on that, but just anecdotally, yeah, I see new people all the time, and you know, a lot of them do talk about the pros. So I think it's yeah, I think overall it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing if the pros on average are going to be bringing the heat more than the amateurs, both in art and writing. And when I say pro, I mean pro writers. That's just, I mean, you know, that just stands to reason. You know, when as CG books improve on a whole across the board in general, that's good for everybody, because you know that sort of competitiveness is what drives you know, drives the marketplace forward. And that's one of the big things that it's kind of, you break it down to the fundamentals when people ask why is manga crushing it? Well, because people like it. You know, people like it, and you know, they like the good stuff. I'm not saying it's all good, because I don't know, and I've heard people say most of it's terrible, but there's good stuff out there that's propelling the whole thing forward. And I think, yeah, CG just needs more of that. So that's why I'm fully supportive of industry pros. Let's call them industry pros, because I saw Dean's comment there.
Yeah.
You joining in this this crowdfunding revolution.
That's another point too, right? I love manga. I love anime, but not all of it is good. There is a lot of shit out there, and the whole manga is the best thing. It's not true. There's some fantastic mangas. There's some fantastic anime, but there's a lot of shit out there as well. So it's the same with comics. Here's a point, Bancroft, about fan power, and I think like there are some big creators that can really push campaigns to really big heights. Ethan, obviously, Malin, all those guys can do wonders for your campaigns, but it's really like the fans can do a hell of a lot, right? This is just a simple tweet I did. Obviously, I'm not technically a fan, but this is the point I'm trying to make. The Lucent is shutting down his campaign at 1,000 backers, less than 50 to go. Grab a copy, some hashtags. 24 likes, 14 retweets, but 14 link links, right? I don't know what percentage you're converting at, Bancroft. Maybe around 10%?
8%. I checked that day. So
that's one backer for you, in theory. So it's just tweets like this that actually can do a lot. So you guys just don't ever underestimate the power that you have, and it's always appreciated when you guys tweet or retweet or like or anything along those lines. That is all I'm saying.
I've had, like I said, fantastic luck. As talked about the Lucent, Ethan talked about the Lucent. I got onto John's show. I got onto Cecil's show. But I also established a rapport with the chat, both on my channel and then on other channels as well. And I think that's the real, that is the real power of what we're doing here. This is not I'm not trying to take away anything that guys like Ethan and John and Shane do, because they obviously do get huge amounts of promotion out there. But you can't compete with the Frog G's, the Model V's, the Arics,
the Leroys,
the Tommies,
the Georges,
the Leroys,
the Crackheads,
all those guys out there every day. That's like
the Moes.
If you can ingratiate
Jaspers.
yourself to them, that's an army of people out there that and these guys are incredibly trusted within the community. I think that is actually the secret power of this whole
is the actual
promotional process, is the fans.
It's crazy,
right to the point where it did used to be the case that if you wanted to get any kind of funding, you really had to be on Ethan's channel. That was like the be all and end all. Now it isn't. I mean, it's great if you get on there. You will see a boost, but it's not like the chat in Ethan's show are just mindless drones, like seals clapping. He'll back anything, any project he brings on there. They've got they're people like any of us. And if some guy comes out of the blue and has a book, they might not it might not appeal to them. Whereas you got guys in the chat who everyone knows vouching for you and sharing links. It's massive. It's a huge deal.
This is one I did from Malin. I showed this a couple of weeks back, but 1,000 backers, Comicscape, great job. 74 link links again. So I mean, like, it's just like simple things like this from me or from Bancroft or from any of you guys actually make a really big difference. And I'm gonna start doing just like a random campaign, maybe once a day, tweeting it out, just to, if it gets one more backer for someone, I think it's worthwhile. I've started doing it this week, actually. Yours was the most successful out of the ones I did. That's just how it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are we talking what makes a pro again? I don't know. It looks like people in chat
In the
are
chat,
talking
they
about
are.
it. Yeah. It's a slippery
So-
slope, that one.
Semantic arguments on the internet are always the best kinds of arguments. I wasn't even there for that show when that happened, though I did hear about it afterwards.
The pros.
Yeah. What makes a pro? What makes a amateur or whatever? Yeah, I think I don't need to weigh into it.
So this is. Oh, awesome! My copy of the Lucent is in the United States.
I saw, yes, and George, your copy went out with Leroy's copy, which is still stuck in Melbourne. Go figure, huh?
No, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think what happens is they keep putting it on a different plane because they, however many express shipments come in that day probably affects it, and they obviously bump everything back because they have to go out because they're express. I think that's what happens. So some of them squeeze through and some of them don't. And George, yes, you got the special. You got the special Aussie Post treatment there. So congratulations on that.
So Bancroft, the mainstream are turning every comic book character gay, bi, or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And this is what I was going to talk about the other day. I don't know why they're doing it. This is what they should do. This guy is Alex Wolfson. I remember him from Kickstarter days. He started a webcomic. It's about gay superheroes. He's gay. He's always wanted to do it. This is a gay person who wants to make a superhero book with his own characters, right? Why do the mainstream not just pick up someone like this who actually has a story to tell rather than make some random character gay because that's what the person of the time wants to do?
Because they're creatively bankrupt and phoning it in, and
look at this though, Bancroft. This is
Clueless.
2016, 2,500 backers. There is an audience for this.
Oh, it's massive. Not all of it, but the vast majority of web comics, I think you could classify as LGBTQ in nature. The vast majority. These have massive audiences. There's huge amounts of people making new, original, content like this, and they're hugely popular. I think that's this Marvel one. The big two, creatively bankrupt, desperate to get the cheap eyeball on their books. They are out of ideas, so it's, well, what can we do to get anyone to talk about Superman anymore? Well, we'll make his son gay, and that's what they're doing. That's all. There's no other reason other than they're just terrible at telling stories and making and selling comics.
I find it insane. Like, this guy's got 866 patrons. I think that's more than Ethan does. And like, this doesn't interest me in the slightest, but it interests other people. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's right
You're
here.
exactly right. There's so many. I don't know if they're quite to this level of success, but there's so many people, catering to this demographic, this readership already. That the boring, predictable, token pandering that Marvel and DC get up to, it's so obvious. It never succeeds. It ends in failure, and it's a cynical. Well, and on top of that, it turns away existing readers who already knew these characters. Some of them for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden they see these characters being changed on a whim, clearly because either the company is desperate or has some sort of ideological axe to grind or whatever.
Let me read this, right? Because there's a subtle difference between what this guy is doing and what the mainstream doing. It's not very subtle, actually. Hi, I'm Alex Wolfson. As a gay kid growing up, I love science fiction and action stories, but I never got to see what I really wanted to see, and that's kick-ass genre stories with heroes, real heroes who just happen to like other guys, right? That's fine, dude. You do you. That is cool. He wants stories with guys that happen to like other guys. The mainstream just want to take a character and switch the sexuality because it appeals to, tokenism. Fair?
Yeah. We don't have to be gay or not white to understand these concepts. It's very easy to use our brains to imagine. When my kids have been watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, imagine that they were like, we want to get more white people to watch the Fresh Prince, so we want to change the Carlton to a white guy who was adopted or something. Just 7 seasons in. First of all, insulting much that you think I'm not going to watch the Fresh Prince because it's an all-black cast,
The Fresh
and that
Prince
I
is
would
great.
somehow identify more with the show or be more interested in the show because all of a sudden one of the characters turned white. That's racist and insulting. And then on top of that, you're just pissing off all of the people who liked that character from before. You're exactly right. If they weren't, like I said, creatively and morally bankrupt, they would just create a new show that they felt appealed to all the races evenly or some nonsense. But yeah.
But if they actually really cared about gay people and LGBT, right, there are people like that Matthew Wolfson guy doing it. Hire him. Make that series something from Marvel and DC.
That guy
right?
looked a bit too white, I think.
Oh, it's crazy. It's just insane. It's insane. I wanted to get my son the Super Sons Omnibus. I'm not buying it now. It's not important to know for my 8-year-old to know who Superman is with. I've seen gay comics. There's a lot of penetration. LOL. Marvel and DC drive away their base and won't attract these folks who are a fraction of their base. It's crazy, man. I can list 5 all-black casts right now better than Fresh Prince, Jefferson's Cosby Show, What's
George.
Happening, Good Times, and 227. Fresh Prince
George,
was fantastic, George.
I wasn't making a statement on the quality of the show Fresh Prince. Just saying that's what my kids are watching at the moment.
Insane Potato Posse. That's going to be Shane's fans. I'm copywriting it. That's good. That's good. I've got a couple more campaigns we can look at as well. Justice City Chronicles updates. Let's have a look at the story. Cool. I'd put the blurb there as we've said. 80-page, bolded, very nice. Cover, solid. I'd argue that cover's more impactful than this one.
Yeah, I do like that other cover.
Tears look good. Man, it just makes me angry. Oh, like, how must it
What doesn't
be?
make you angry, Rob?
How I know they don't care anymore, But can you imagine like how pissed off you would be if you worked on Green Lantern for 15 years and you know they just changed it? That would piss me off.
Well, that's the thing of working, working on other people's properties and not your own, I suppose.
Gee, the art's good.
Yeah, Anthony's a boss.
Good color. Good colors there. Look at that. Very nice.
Anton says, Rob is angry. Stop the presses.
Oh.
Anthony is a deep dude. You know, you might think he's just all about crawfish and he's what does he wear, like a fedora?
Mm-hmm.
No, he has big plans, this guy, and he's a serious talent. So I really like seeing what he's doing.
Aren't there import discounts to essential stuff like medicine in Oz? I like these stretch goals, Bancroft, because these are all like achievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you like the incremental. These are $1,000 at a time sort of things, and you know from personal experience that he does like to fill his campaigns with goodies.
Yeah, he delivers a really good package. That's good too. I like it. I don't have too much to say on this one, Bancroft. What do you think?
No, solid campaign.
Yeah,
great art, good guys.
Rob gets angry so often because he doesn't understand the things he doesn't understand makes him angry. It's so true. So true. All right, there's one more.
Well,
Yeah,
don't say it like that.
Six Gun Gorilla.
Get through one more.
I mean, this book reviewed so well. The art is fantastic. And yet the campaigns don't do massive numbers. So the question is, like, what percentage of this whole game is promotion, Bancroft?
A lot. It's a lot. It's people will often say, "Oh, it's just about who's more popular and who knows who and everything." Yeah, it is. Just like anything else in this, just like movies, just like novels, just like plays, just like poetry, music, anything creative. It's all about eyeballs and marketing and promotion. And unfortunately for Brian, he's had a really tough year. He wasn't able to do what he otherwise might normally do with his promotion on this. But he's a guy, again, I don't think is I don't think he's I'm not supposed to say I don't think he's going anywhere. I'm supposed to say something else. Like, he's here to stay. That's it. I'm like, I wish him the best, but if I didn't catch this one, catch him on the next one, kind of thing. I think there's that goes into a little bit, but it is the game is promotion. That's why Comicsgate is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's because we kind of unlocked the power of YouTube to promote comic books in a way that no one had before.
Promoted your book without really ever telling anyone what it was about.
Yeah, that's because I didn't want them getting the false impression that when they read it, they'll know what it's about.
And so, I mean, the point is, it doesn't. And like, you hadn't printed a book, like this is your first book, so there's no way people can say that it's the quality of the book. Like, we could see the artwork looked fantastic, but essentially you're like promoting something that hasn't. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
No, you're just saying the obvious that my campaign is closing in on 1,000 backers because I spent the last year and a half on live streams, not every day, but damn close to it. People
Yeah,
know
it's
me.
crazy.
They know who I am. If they like me, that's a much higher chance that they will back my book. That can't be stressed enough. And even though I'm sure everyone likes Brian, I can't imagine why they wouldn't. He
He's good.
He doesn't appear on lots of streams, and when he does, he's on a lot of streams that aren't getting massive numbers. It's just it is what it is. Even Tom Cruise takes 6 weeks out of his schedule to go and shill his new Mission Impossible movie all over the world. Yeah, no one is above it. No one. You need to shill hard, shill often, and that's the only way you're gonna get the bigger numbers.
So, if you couldn't stream, like for example, right? If you weren't able to, you had the conversation with your wife. I want to stream every hour, every day during lunchtime, and it was a no go. What would you be doing instead? What would be your plan of attack for people that just aren't streaming
or can't stream?
Stream.
I mean, just next best thing. Meeting people in the chat. Networking on Twitter. Building your audience there, or Instagram, or wherever you want to do it. There's really no substitute for a live stream. There really isn't. When it comes to selling books, there's no substitute. People could build their channels with videos, and that does do well. A guy like RJ from the Fourth Age, his campaign's doing well. His campaign's doing really well, but he can't live stream much at all because of where he lives, which is out in the middle of nowhere. He's got that satellite internet. We've talked about that. I think I did a tweet about that. That you go out and you meet people in the chat. I mean, that like one-on-one, creating those sort of one-on-one relationships with people on the internet is that's can't be replaced.
Six Gun Gorilla is an original IP. It's from public domain. I don't think this is a good example. The example is just what would you do if you're not streaming? I'm building my mailing list consistently. I think Facebook groups and Facebook ads.
Jasper mentioned earlier, Ethan promoted him. He did on the last campaign, and that campaign I think made 20,000 or something, or more, maybe even 30. I can't remember. But I don't think that happened this time around. So we see the impact of not getting as many eyeballs on your campaign. It's massive.
There's also an issue if you're unlikable.
Yep, that's a real thing. Like, some people may be better off not shilling their books on live streams.
Yeah, I mean, like Eddie Winkler.
Not many.
Eddie Winkler didn't stream much, if at all. He spent a lot of money.
Eddie
on
Winkler
Super
is
Chats.
incredibly likable. I refuse to believe anyone doesn't like Eddie Winkler.
Yeah, my point is that he wasn't streaming though, Bancroft.
Yeah. But he did eventually get himself out there a little bit more. Justin Murphy is another one who doesn't stream much. I guess they're the exceptions to the rule. They're the exceptions that prove the rule. Is that what they're saying? I don't know. I think both Eddie and Professor Murph has some secret sauce they did things quite differently and still had massive success.
Jasper was saying people don't use Facebook, and they don't really. Antoine was saying he's using Facebook. It's a massively undertapped resource that we in CG just don't really use much.
Yeah, I deleted my Facebook at one point.
Jasper says Antoine would be okay at hosting your own show. You're good. You're good on a stream, Antoine. You should be streaming. Dude, you hit $45,000. Congrats.
Huh, that's cool.
Wow.
That's very cool.
That's super excited. Nearly 62,000 Australian dollars.
62,000. Yeah.
That's crazy. Ryan, my Lucent made it to the US of A according to the tracking. Glad it didn't get lost in the outback.
I'm glad too, Ryan. I hope you enjoy it when it finally gets there.
That's another thing, Tommy, that people say that we don't do YouTube ads from IGG, only see Kickstarter ads. It's another.
Yeah, I might try that because I think you can. I don't know this for sure, but I think you can just assign them to certain channels.
Yeah, we've had this discussion before, and someone said that you can do it.
Yeah, so if you could put them on, say, the type like nerdrotic type channels, Anna's channel,
Ethan.
Well, I don't think Ethan does ads, so
doesn't he?
No, he doesn't monetize. Maybe he does when he doesn't do. Maybe he did when he did the short videos, but it's the pre-recorded ones. But he definitely doesn't for anything, his live streams or anything.
Joe says, I hardly use Facebook anymore because there are too many toxic people. But when I started at Twitter, it was a chance for me to start over and only follow people that would be uplifting. Facebook has, I don't know if it's just me, but Facebook has way more toxic people than I see on Twitter, at least.
Yeah, because I don't think you can really
filter them out,
partition yourself off from them in a way that you can. There's lots of real bubbles on Twitter. At least that's what I remember. I mean, I felt the exact same thing, Joe. I just had to get out of there. And I remember, like, I unfollowed some people because I was just kind of sick of either people seeing what I was saying or me seeing what they were saying or something like that. I don't even know if Facebook works like that anymore. So I unfollowed someone who I hadn't talked to in real life in 10 years. And it got back to me through the grapevine that they were really upset with me that I unfollowed. Hadn't talked to them in real life or Facebook in 10 years. And they were all cranky. I was like, what? You have my phone number still, I'm sure. But yeah, I just this is not normal human interaction. I think everyone understands that Twitter is not real, but people get this feeling that Facebook is like a kind of a group area, hangout area for people It's not. It's bad. So I jumped ship, especially when I didn't like a lot of things they were doing.
Facebook's groups have reach. Yeah, you might have to have a chat with us about it, Jasper, because I'm interested. I think Lucent would do great guns in the young adult market, but those folks are not in CG networks.
Yeah, I think that's like mostly the readers I was hitting on Webtoons. Sort of that, kind of mindset. Maybe I can find them on Instagram, which I know is a branch of Facebook, but at least I still have an account on Instagram. I don't know.
Do you find it hard just to keep on top of everything though? Like you're trying to do a book, you're trying to do my colors, you're trying to ship, do your own thing, Twitter, YouTube, and then adding Facebook and Instagram on top of that. Like,
oh, I wouldn't do it.
How do you?
This would be something for Mel to do. There's no way I would start another friggin' social media thing. I think to me, when we talk about this, I'm just thinking, look, in the grand scheme of things, my channel is minuscule.
Yeah.
Absolutely minuscule. And Rob, you talk about this a lot. The people who used to read comics but don't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost guaranteed that they're watching things on Facebook, on YouTube, sorry, whatever it is. And maybe we have an opportunity here to find them and reconnect with them and say, hey, you used to like comic books. I know you haven't read them in a long time, but check out what we're doing over here. We're having a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy over here. Come hang out with us. I think that opportunity is still massive on YouTube, and anyone with a channel south of 100,000 has. I mean, the amount of growth that we can available there is relatively infinite. 100,000 seems so far away from 1,000, 2,000 subs that it may as well be infinite. But people have done it. People have built their channels up. I remember subbing to just some guy. He had a couple of thousand. I remember subbing to Tug. He had a couple of thousand. People have done it. It may be harder now. It may get harder every year, but there's just so much growth there.
There's an opportunity whenever there's a new platform. Whenever you get onto a new platform at the start, it is really easy to build followers. You've seen it on Facebook when that was new. I don't know if there's gonna be any new platforms that take off. Interesting. Bancroft, would it be a good idea if like a group of us put together some money and did advertising as like a group of people?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not convinced on the advertising thing. Yeah, I don't know. If someone, I'd be more inclined to sit back and see how other people go with it. I've been, involved with online Facebook and Google advertising now for going on 15 years, and it always seems to ebb and flow.
But
And I
that's the
think
thing,
it's
though. That's the problem. It's always, let's sit back and see someone else do it and see how that goes. But then no one fucking does it, and then nothing changes.
but that's the thing. I'm not convinced that it is going to change anything.
So yeah, but if you don't try, you're never gonna know. That's the thing. Like, we're just gonna do
Not
the same things
necessarily. You
over
might
and over again.
try and not get a good conclusion, and not. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I know advertising that well. I know it a little bit to know that is true.
Yeah, but that's exactly Ryan says. You can't catch that wave if you don't go out in the ocean. Aerith is doing a full test run with his next book videos and all. I mean, maybe he'll be the first. I know Adam Lawson does well with his videos that he posts on Facebook. I actually like Andy Smith's 30-second trailer that Ethan plays. I think that is fun, and I think more of us should do something along those lines. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I probably do, but I can't recall it right now.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably the trailer that I looked at when I had him on the show.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. What else you got, chat, for us? We got about 15 minutes left here.
Jasper says you should run pre-roll and post-roll trailers on your videos. I used to do it podcasts, and many podcasts did it back then. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I was worried that people are gonna get over it, but I guess if you switch them up all the time, I saw. I guess it might be okay.
Last person I saw put in effort into advertising was Doug DeNaple, and look how well he did.
But maybe he did do well compared to how he otherwise would have done had he not ever joined Comicsgate and had that swell of support. You just never know. Like Doug DeNaple was at the pinnacle of CG at one point. So he had a lot of supporters on top of all the name recognition that he had and the IP recognition and everything. So he might not be the right person to look at. But look, I'm not against it. I know how annoying it can be and how much work goes into the ads. It's like a full-time job for people that they do. People pay a lot of money to companies or individuals to do their ads properly. So
are you going to get a company name for your comics? Because it's something that everyone does. You've got like
I might get a company name, but I don't know if I'll ever do an imprint. But I'm not like dead against it. I don't know. It seems to me like that's a remnant of the old system, the direct market, getting into comic book shops system. I have no plans to publish any other titles other than Lucent books.
You say that, but like, is that where you sit for the rest of your time? What if you branch out?
I'm 40 years old, Rob. I got a lot of stuff I need to do for the Lucent story. I don't know if I'll ever have time to branch out. But I probably will have to get a company before I do the next book, purely for tax reasons. Because if you're just including the money that you bring in as part of your income, you can get stung bad doing that. I know a lot of people said that's crazy. What if you want to you should have if you want to get into a catalog or get into a store or something like this, it's so much easier for you to it's a branding thing. I don't know. I've made a lot of I put in a lot of effort building up my brand, as kind of like my name. So
Bancroft.
No, just who I am, like J.K. Rowling she's an author, or I don't know. I'm sure J.K. Rowling has a company that she's attached to. Whatever it is. But I know her as her because she's the author. The same for any kind of author like that. That's just how I think of it. And I see these, I see, and I'm not saying anything bad against anyone who wants to do them. I just see them like it's like a thing from a bygone era. I'm not even I didn't put a barcode on the book, ISBN number. This book is being sold via crowdfund. That's how you get it. And if I have any books left over at the end of this, I'll sell them online via I don't know, eBay or a web store or something like that.
That's a good one. Ginger Root Productions. You've already got the logo. You just got the hand. It's already there.
Right. Well, yeah. It's funny. People. No one's brought this up yet, but a lot of what I do on YouTube, like this stuff, like the ginger root hand and everything, it's very kind of lighthearted and tongue in cheek, and I don't want to say it's funny because I don't want to, probably isn't to some people, but it's humor is what I'm trying to go for. But with the book itself, the Lucent, there's no humor in it. It's not that kind of book at all. So like
what about with the kids?
You thought that was funny? The child murdering?
The child murdering, yeah. That's
Yeah,
great.
so I don't think like a funny reference to something that happened on a stream really fits in with the vibe of the book that I'm making. Is what I'm trying to say.
So no handstand chick books, no Ginger Root Productions, none of that.
No, I don't think so.
All right, I'm gonna say something that people may or may not disagree with. Let's be honest, they're gonna disagree. The 2008 Rambo was the best Rambo.
The one with the massive 50 cal that he just like shoots in the dude's face. Yeah,
Yes.
I still do love First Blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Rambo I've seen the most. The other ones, they were just 80s action stuff. I did love that Rambo. I didn't see the last one though.
The last one was really crap.
I heard that. Yeah, I didn't want to sully my memory of it.
But the 2008 one's fantastic. When he gets on that 50 cal and people's body parts are just flying off left, right, and center. It's hilarious. Why is Bancroft being so grumpy? It's a Thursday. It's just who he is on a Thursday.
Are you talking about my face or what I'm saying? Am I being grumpy in what I'm saying because I don't want the imprint, or is it my face? Because if it's my face, I'm coloring, so that's how I look when I color.
Oh, nice. Today, just today, Adams. Seriously, you've been around a while, man. There's no excuses if you're only picking up on it now.
Is that what TIL means?
Seriously, dude?
I've literally never seen the abbreviation TIL in my life.
My god!
Ever. That's my first time I've ever seen
You don't know any abbreviations. Like, did you never play computer games?
Not online, no. I played Nintendo and then PlayStation 2. But no, not online. I played poker in real life.
George, I wouldn't expect you to know, George. That's, people speak proper English from where you're from. But Bancroft, I would expect him to know these things.
Jason's not seen it either?
He doesn't even know what AFK means, Jason. Surely everyone in chat knows what AFK is.
I've forgotten. What? Hang on.
I'm not going to tell you.
After? Is it after?
No.
Ads.
Not even close. No.
No, then I got nothing.
No.
I got nothing. AFK?
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Okay. I'll give you the first one. Away?
Oh, yes, you told me this. Away from keyboard. You told me that. Why would I ever need to know that?
All for knowledge. Oh yes, you guys got it. It's crazy.
Where in what circumstance would I be typing the abbreviation AFK? Like, what would I be doing?
You're talking to someone on Twitter, in a DM, and instead of ignoring them and leaving them on red, you go AFK. I'm not here.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're in a DM message with someone and you're like, AFK, I'm gonna go live my life. Like, what?
I wouldn't do it now, but when I was 18, hell yeah, that's what you'd say all the time.
Sumo says leave to take a dump. No, that is my prime tweeting time. If I'm talking to you on Twitter, there's like a 95% chance I'm taking a dump. They just understand that.
That's fantastic.
No, but
and can you thank Joe for me too? I was eating food when he was telling that diarrhea explosion.
I had no idea where that story was going. None. He had not told me that, and I cut him off because it was going on. It was like a 15-minute story. He didn't even. There was like there was an addendum to that. Like there's an extra part of it that I will have him say on the next show.
I love Joe's stories, but I love the fact that he goes, I'm just going to give you 2 quick numbers,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then a
and then-
15-minute story happens, and
later,
you haven't even
no
got to
one's
the
heard
first
anything.
number. You're
Yeah.
like, don't ever change, Joe.
Yeah. Well, no, here, like,
Do you know what this one is?
Yes, I know that one. Why the face? That was it. That's a Modern Family joke.
Mm.
That was the dad. He said, "I know what all these mean. WTF? Why the face? LOL." Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not a
it's-
boomer.
it's-
I just never played online games where you're chatting with people in Messenger or some shit like that. That's not my thing.
It's funny when old people don't know what LOL is, and they think it means lots of love. And then I read a tweet, not a tweet, a text message between a daughter and her mum, and she goes, "Oh, just letting you know, Annie Carroll died today. LOL."
Oh, that's good.
Rob, I
Yeah.
had issues back in the lawsuit, and Bancroft gave me his PayPal info. Do you have one? It's not in your description. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I can sort that out for you.
Imagine how many backers we're losing because of that. And yeah, Stoneman, there was yourself and 3 others who
Is Stoneman on
reached out
Twitter?
to me to ask. Must be, because I think all of them went through Twitter, maybe
Okay, cool.
email, but yeah, people just aren't, it's not their responsibility to seek out people to get a payment thing.
No. And I reckon we lose heaps too when you go from payment to where it converts to the shipping, and it displays it in Australian dollars, not US dollars. So people think the shipping's like 30 bucks or whatever it is, when in fact it's actually like 15 US.
Yeah, I had a guy ask a comment about that last week, because he was seeing the numbers had changed and everything, and I was like, yeah, well, that's because it's in Australian dollars, and you backed it at this time, the Australian dollar was this much, and now it's this much.
Yeah,
it's unnecessarily confusing on that site, but I don't think they're going to change it anytime soon. Not for us.
Someone put some more abbreviations in chat just to see if Bancroft doesn't know them. So that would be funny for me. That's cool though that Stoneman reached out to you, man, to sort that out.
Oh, there you go. He says he'll request it through the campaign.
Yeah, nice. There's also a bank charge for international purchases. Okay, cool. I watched Predator
that's the $25
the other day again.
Every month I pay $25.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
To keep the in demand up.
What's this one, Bancroft?
Rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off.
Okay. Do you know what FUBAR is?
Fucked up beyond repair.
Oh, that's close. That's close. Wait,
wasn't that in a movie
on Replicator? What do you mean?
No. It's Indiegogo handles it. The for what it's worth.
I didn't know that one. There you go. I'll give you that. What's this one? I'm scared to click on that
BBW.
one. I'm scared to click on this one too.
BBC. Yeah. No, I know a lot. I just did. I had never seen, what was it? TIL.
Yeah.
Never seen it. I never heard a
AFK. Yeah, that blows my mind.
I mean, I've heard BRB,
but
I didn't know if I've ever used it. Maybe I have a couple of times.
I think I've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah, I know ASMR is that listening thing, isn't it? When people whisper into microphones.
I'm Batman.
CG. I know what that means.
All right. I think we're going to wrap it up there, Bancroft. Do you have any final words?
Let me share the page I'm working on. I mean, it's the
yes,
same
sweet.
page that everyone's seen, but it's just further along. I think the only thing I need to do is figure out what I'm going to do with these rebar things, and also just put the final blue highlights, rim lighting, sorry, on the guys. So let me share it. There she blows. Whoa. So yeah, it's got a bit more definition in it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you can see on the explosions there, a bit more energy there.
Yeah, it looks cool.
The rim lighting on the things, that's, you know, good definition. Added some effects down here, a bit more of those sparks and stuff.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be putting a bit of blue rim light on there for the ambient light. That'll make them pop even more. But yeah,
it's looking sick, man.
Yeah, I really liked it. I was worried when this page just started because it was a lot of yellow, but I think it worked out fine in the end. They are getting lit up, yeah.
Yeah, I like violence. It's fun.
This guy's having a bad day.
Yeah,
and in the original version, he was having such a bad day. His face was squashed down into his neck.
Mm-hmm.
But it did look a bit. It did look a bit weird. I assume this guy's this guy, Rob, or maybe this guy. He's one of them.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. I just thought, you know, they're all getting dead.
They're just.
I watched Predator again the other day. Fantastic movie.
Yeah, well, Predator's a classic. What's better, Predator or Terminator?
Terminator 1?
Yeah.
Predator. Let us know, chat. What's better, Predator or Terminator?
It's so hard because Predator's an action movie, but it's also a horror, and it's also sci-fi, and it's really quite perfect. But I also think that Terminator is maybe not, it falls short on the special effects at some point, but I do love the story. I love Kyle and Arnie and yeah. I think I have to say Terminator, even though I do love Predator.
Nah, Predator's better, man, because it starts off as like just a simple, we need to rescue these people, and then it turns into like a whole journey that these people go on.
I can be convinced. I can be convinced. That great music as well, both the score and the sort of soundtrack stuff. And I like the ensemble cast. You know, they really have every person is different in what they do and their personality and everything, and they all get slaughtered in brilliant ways. Like, you know, you think that they're building you up to no, they're all going to get done in great ways. So yeah, maybe it is Predator. I don't know. I think Jason's right. It's Predator is a cool action movie. Terminator will keep you up at night thinking about it. That's exactly right. That's what I think. There's just some classic lines in Terminator. You know, when he's like, "It absolutely will not stop until you are dead."
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
You ugly, you're one ugly.
Yeah, mate, come on.
Also, come with me if you want to live. I mean, that's a classic. And I'll be back.
It is like, it's a shame that there's never going to be an action star as good as Arnie ever again.
Well, it's a time and a place thing. It's just a time and a place thing. You know, that style of movie it belongs to the 80s. So, just is what it is. I like rock movies though.
What? The Rock's
Rock.
movies?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's not the same. I'm not saying it's the
Mate,
same. I'm saying it's a new era. It's
what
different.
good movies has The Rock been in?
Jumanji. Action
What other
adventure.
good movies apart from Jumanji has The Rock been in that are
I
good?
liked the Hobbs and Shaw one.
I don't watch Fast and Furious.
I've
They
never watched any, but I had
hurt my
I
soul.
had to be somewhere for like 2 hours, and I had to be somewhere, and I was stuck somewhere, and I had 2 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch a movie, and that was what was on. I had never seen a Fast and Furious movie before. I liked it.
I
was
like
fun.
The Rock. Don't get me wrong, but I think all the movies he's in, like the vast majority, are shit. Did you see Rampage?
No.
Shit.
I didn't see
Fucking
his
shit.
disaster one either. Maybe that's because I
mean-
haven't seen any movies, and I just remember him from being the wrestler. he was one of the best wrestlers of all time.
He was good. He was a great wrestler.
If you can smell George has the Fresh Prince is better. Can't read
Pain and Gain. Is that the weightlifter one?
I got no idea.
The Rock sucks.
I don't think he sucks at all. I think he's really good in Jumanji.
I think he would be good if he had a good movie. But I think all the movies he's in is shit.
I feel like I've seen him in a movie that I like, but
some of his earlier stuff was all right. Like Walking Tall? That was all right back in the day.
I haven't seen it. I realize I haven't seen any Rock movies now that I'm saying I like The Rock.
Has anyone seen Rampage in the chat? That's a train wreck, that movie.
I'm just pulling them up now. The movies that The Rock's been in. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so I haven't seen Jungle Cruise. I haven't seen Skyscraper. Haven't seen Rampage. Haven't seen Central Intelligence. I saw Hobbs and Shaw and Jumanji. Haven't seen Hercules, Baywatch. Okay, so I haven't seen hardly any.
Baywatch was terrible.
San Andreas, Pain and Gain, Journey 2, Snitch, G.I. Joe, Empire State, Faster. I've seen none of these.
Seriously batting at like 1 in 10.
Less.
1 in 10 is
all right.
good.
No, okay. I accept. All right. I like The Rock because he was a good wrestler. I love Moana, but he just voiced a character in that. And I like Jumanji.
He wrestled 7 of 9 in a galactic fighting championship. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
He did the.
I remember that. I remember that episode, but I didn't know that was The Rock. I retract, George. I had no idea he made all these movies.
You like the perception you have of The Rock, not his actual work. I'm the same. Never watched any film of his, but I like the guy. I think
I do like him. I've seen him do like speeches and stuff.
You know who disappoints me too? Jason Momoa.
I don't think I've seen anything of him either. I never saw.
Well, he was in Game of Thrones.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah,
Khal Drogo. I mean,
he was fantastic.
Was that really a character? He just sat there and grunted and then banged Khaleesi.
Maybe that's his ceiling.
Yeah, that's as high as he goes, right?
Yeah, he was great in Stargate Atlantis. He was great in Game of Thrones.
Was he though? He was adequate. I mean, he was a brute.
That's it. Has he though, crackhead? Has he?
I didn't watch. What is he? Aquaman? I didn't watch that.
It's good in Stargate. All right, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for hanging around with us. We had like 30 people watching at this crazy hour. Make sure you like and subscribe if you can, and go back a campaign. Ethan stole that from me, and I stole that from Leroy. So make sure you go and back something. Someone was telling me that Ethan was saying that, and that, you know, they said that he got it from you, and I'm like, nah, he didn't get it from me. I got it from Leroy. So go back something, and have a good one, guys. We'll catch you later.
See ya.
I gotta do the play out.
Of course you do.
Once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below, my Billy boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She was 2 weeks from shore and down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up